For some of you, I'm just going to say, for some of you, it could be an air sign coming back into your life. Someone from your past returning who is an air sign. Again, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. Or it could just be someone who kind of embodies those characteristics, someone who's very independent, someone who is intellectual, someone who can be very glib, who understands concepts. I don't know, it feels like it could very well be an air sign, though, coming back in. If it's not someone coming back in terms of an actual physical body, it could indicate for you, Capricorn, an old pattern coming back in to be addressed, to be looked at differently, and to be transformed through forgiving and learning about yourself, about past circumstances, about your spouse, your partner, past partners. It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. And it is right underneath this ego card, right? The ego is so strong here. It's just all about fear, anxiety, addictions. It could be that someone that you are with has an addiction. It could be that you have a codependency or addiction to something. And you're really so strongly being asked during this time period, Capricorn, if it is about someone else, if you're involved with someone who has an addiction, to begin to forgive yourself for all of your emotions about that, and forgive yourself for how you got involved with someone like that, because I know it's often about codependency, and often when people become involved with people who have addictions or dependencies, there's so much that goes on with the person who doesn't have the addiction. So, forgive yourself, forgive them as best you can, grow and learn from the situation. And if it's not about addictions, it's about this pattern coming in very powerfully during this time period, Capricorn, because it's right in the center where you are focusing in on the worst case scenario. You're letting fear and worry get the better of you. You're feeling guilty, you're feeling shameful about yourself and your behavior. And it's really important to begin to release that and to forgive yourself for those feelings and allow yourself some room to breathe here. I'm going to get 3 cards on this ego, though, just to get a bit more clarity for you. It may be that you're really worried about your family if you are married, because we have the happy family card right next to the ego card. And it could be that it's influencing the family. If there is an addiction or something, codependency. I'll read you the text of the ego card, Capricorn. It says, the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. So for some of you, it's going to play out, very, very differently than for others, because it's a general reading. But again, you're always going to be able to recognize it by the pattern. It may show up as an individual. It may show up as a situation. It may show up as an energy or a thought or anything like that. But you'll always recognize it by the fact that with the ego, we're always putting the importance on something outside of ourselves as being the source of our safety, our security, our happiness, our joy. And that's how you can always tell that it's your ego, because whenever you're looking at something else as being the cause of your worry and your fear and your anxiety, you can always go, oh, look at my ego. My ego's really got a strong hold on me today. That kind of energy. But the more that you can kind of play with it and forgive yourself for it, because you will never get rid of our ego. Our ego is always present. We just begin to recognize when it comes in more and more, so we can begin to have more consciousness around it, which allows for us to step out of it more easily and more quickly. Okay, we have the 10 of Autumn, more 10 energy here. Okay, so clarifying the ego card, we have the 10 of Autumn, all about your sense of security in the world, your sense of security within your family, your sense of security with your finances, the way that you feel safe and secure in the material world. And it looks like it does have to do with a marriage with this 5 of Autumn. For me, indicating marriage sometimes. Feeling challenged by money, also being indicated here. So this is what we have. for you, Capricorn. Clarifying this ego card, this sense of fear, worry, shame, addictions, codependencies, too much sex, too much drugs, too much alcohol, shopping addictions, sex addictions, all of that comes under this fear, worry, guilt, shame. It can play out differently for everybody, but it's always more sort of difficult energy. But the good news is you are working to transform it and to grow and learn and forgive within it. And you're doing such good work with it that your angels are letting you know that divine timing is at work. This is all happening in the exact way it's meant to, for your best and highest good, for your greatest soul's expansion. And if it's not an energy coming back in, it could very well be a person coming back in. And this person coming back in could get your ego all stirred up. And it could maybe change your marriage as well, because we do have the 5 of Autumn with the ego. And with all this happy family card, it could be that people who are married with children could be affected here. But anyway, so we have the 7 of Autumn energy as well. For you right now, Capricorn, based on all this other energy, I do feel as though this could be a little bit of sneakiness, a little bit of not complete honesty happening associated with the ego card. Maybe something within the marriage, within the family. It's very strongly indicated here. I think I do want to get 3 cards on this worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work. Actually, I'm going to get 3 cards on the reconciliation. Let's just see what else we can get on that. No, I'm going to get it on the divine timing. Because I feel like that air sign has to do with the reconciliation. And again, if it's not an air sign, it's just somebody who feels like an air sign or identifies as an air sign. Maybe they have an air rising or moon sign. No, it doesn't feel right. Okay. Divine timing is at work in your love life, Capricorn. Let's get 3 cards clarifying exactly what that's about. And we also have 2 7s in this spread, with the 7 of winter and the 7 of chalices down here, which for me can also indicate delays. Sorry. I'm taking in a lot of information as I shuffle. Sometimes people are like, why are you shuffling so long? It's like, because as I'm shuffling, it just opens me up and I get more messages. Okay, the High Priestess wanted to come out. Okay, Capricorn. Princess of Autumn. 8 of Autumn. A lot of Autumn energy here. And a lot of Capricorn energy because you're an Earth sign. All right, so looking at this worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life. We have the High Priestess, right? It's happening exactly as it's meant to. It's happening in divine timing because you're meant to continue to go within. You're doing a lot of research within. You're getting more in touch with your spirituality. You're getting more in touch with the High Priestess energy within you, regardless of male or female. It's about understanding your spiritual nature more and more, understanding what it means to be human in a lot of ways. When you know yourself to be a spiritual being first, having the human experience, and for Earth signs, sometimes it's tricky because we're so connected to the Earth, right? And we have all this Earth associated with this divine timing. We have the Princess of Autumn, and we have the 8 of Autumn, and so we have this worth waiting for, like knowing that this reconciliation, this pattern coming, if it's a person coming back in, is happening for a reason. It's happening at this time. Because of the work that you've been doing on your spirituality, because of the hard work that you've been doing. The Princess of Autumn is all about doing the research, right? Just as the High Priestess in many ways is doing the research on her spirituality and her intuition by getting more in touch with herself. And here the Princess of Autumn is doing more research in the practical world, right? And then the Eight of Autumn is about doing the work, actually doing the work, physically doing the work, going to work every day, doing the work that you need to do. And so that's why it's coming in now, because you've been doing all of this, right? It's worth waiting for because you've been doing it and you're doing more of it. It's happening for a reason. It's happening at this time for a reason. And the Seven of Chalices, I'm always drawn to this turtle. It's like slower moving energy here. Very earthy energy, even though it's a Chalices card. Sometimes indicating addictions, confusion, kind of a chaotic feel. And it feels like this, actually, as I look at the spread for you. And with the two tens, often indicating lasting losses and lasting gains. And so for some of you, I feel like it could be a marriage that's undergoing this sense of sort of chaos and confusion. But this ego is for you to look at, Capricorn, so that you can grow and learn from it and forgive and open your heart more and more to forgiveness, to love, to unconditional love for self, for others, right? It's important energy here for you. And for those of you who are single, if it's not someone coming in who's an air sign for you, or someone who is like that, it could just be a pattern of the way that you were in love. You've been in love. And forgiving yourself for the past. For the past, you might be looking back at the past and thinking, gosh, I shouldn't have had sex with that guy or that girl, or gosh, I really shouldn't have gotten high and done those things, or whatever, whatever it might be for you. It can be different for everybody. But, you're being asked to really look at that pattern of behavior that you were, maybe you're, being promiscuous or something like that, and forgiving yourself and growing and learning and loving yourself very deeply, so that the person who comes in can love you just as deeply. We allow ourselves to be loved as deeply as we love ourselves, and so the capacity to which we love ourselves is the capacity to which others can love us, and that we allow others to love us. So. And you know this already, Capricorn, I'm just reminding you of this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get one more card for you, and I'm going to get it from the Mermaids and Dolphins, just because it feels more playful and gentle. And there's a little bit of a heaviness to this reading for you. It's not all bad, it's just there's a lot of energy around that ego. It's really right in the center, and now that forgiving and learning. And then you're being asked to be patient and know that it's worth waiting for. And even if it's an individual coming in, it looks like there's still quite a bit of work to be done, and understanding the reasons why it's happening. This person's coming back now, or this energy is coming back now. Capricorn. What's the message for Capricorn? Let yourself receive. Someone else just got this. I think. I don't remember. I want to say Scorpio, but I could be wrong. It's lovely energy for you, Capricorn. It's because, and I think it may have come up with someone else who got the ego card, or some kind of card that had a similar energy. The ego card is all about putting forth energy, worrying, trying to get something and bring it in. And the let yourself receive is about opening to that divine feminine, very much about the high priestess energy. Regardless of gender, we all hold divine feminine, divine masculine within. And this is about allowing that divine feminine to be more and more present in your consciousness, being more conscious about opening and receiving, as opposed to putting forth energy into fear and worry, putting forth energy into trying to get something and bring it in to make you feel happier, safer, whatever, So let yourself receive, Capricorn. Allow others to give you loving care. Receive without guilt or apologies. And the ego is all about guilt and shame. Just allow yourself to be given to. Maybe that's what's coming in, this new energy of someone giving to you more and more in ways that you haven't allowed yourself to receive in the past. So some really loving, gentle energy for you there, Capricorn. Okay, so I wish you much love. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you on the next video or at your private reading. Till then.